Candace is with us. She's in Austin, Texas. Hi, Candace. How are you?
I'm blessed, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yeah, I was just calling, hoping to get your opinion. You helped my husband and I before we got married to get out of debt, and we've been out of debt for the last 5.5 years.
Way to go.
And yeah, thanks. It's all thanks to you and your program. But we're kind of at a sticky situation. We bought our home about 4.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our extra money, aside from retirement savings, we've been putting into a mutual fund.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some stocks. And so we've built up enough now that we could go and pay off our mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just trying to decide if that's the best move to make, knowing that this is going to be a rental home.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the part where you said you've been following our process and you used that to get out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You mean you loosely generally know what we teach, or somehow you had plugged into details of what we teach?
No, I mean, I definitely can plug in the details. We have our, we
Okay,
have about,
so you know my answer to your question then.
I mean, I think that we should pay it off.
I mean,
But
have you ever heard me in any of our teachings say anything else?
no.
Never one time did I tell people to build up money into a mutual fund and in single stocks to pay off their mortgage. I told them to just pay off their mortgage. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, no, I mean, we put the money into mutual funds rather than just having it in a savings account. But
I understand. I understand. What I'm saying is, what I'm trying to understand is, I think we inspired you to get out of debt, but you never really got down into the details of exactly what we teach in the baby steps and how to do it, because you wouldn't have done what you've done if you understood that. If you were following our stuff, which you said.
mm-hmm.
Because we don't teach people to do what you've done. We teach them to pay off their house. And so now that you've done it, though, you got the money, yes, I'd pay off your house today. Now, then you've got a paid-for house. Wait a minute, you said rental, which means you're going to sell that, or you're going to move to another house and take out a mortgage?
Yes, well, we want to. Our plan is to then buy snowball money to buy a piece of land to build our home on.
With cash? Or are you going to take out a mortgage to build your home?
We're going to take out a mortgage to build it.
Okay. All right. I want you to have rental property. Again, you're welcome to do whatever you'd like to do, Candace. You're obviously an adult. You get to make your choices. You called and asked me what we would do and what we teach. Okay? So let's go back. Baby step 4 is 15% of your income going into retirement after you're out of debt and have your emergency fund in place. Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, and 5 is to take care of kids' college, and 6 is you put everything else on the house until it's paid off. Okay? Then if you're going to buy other properties, you save and pay cash for them. If you can't, you need to sell the other house. So, I don't think you're going to follow what I teach, but I'll go ahead and tell you what it is because it's so different from your plan. But what we teach is, and I'll tell you why we teach it so you'll understand the why too. But what we teach is I would take all of the money that you've got today and I'd pay off your house. I would pile up cash as high as I could pile it up. And if you're unable to build the property on the piece of land without borrowing money, then I would sell this other house in order to pay cash for my residence. Because having your residence paid off and or having a residence mortgaged with a paid off rental property makes no sense at all. So what I would tell you to do is get your residence paid off, wherever that is, through whatever message or method we're going to use here, and then I would start saving and pay cash for my first rental. But in no case am I going to tell you to borrow any more money in all of these scenarios. So if I woke up in your shoes, I would pay cash. I would take the money out and I would pay off your mortgage today. Then I would pile up more cash And when I got ready to buy the land and build the property, I would sell the current residence, pay cash for your new place with the saved money and the sale of your current residence, and then you'd have a paid for nicer place on acreage. Now you've got no bills in the world. Let's pile up cash and go buy a rental somewhere. But I'm not going to try to back into the rental. Now, I don't think you're going to do that, but that's how I would do it. By the way, that's how I did it, and it worked fabulously. But it requires a little more patience on buying the rental. You're trying to do about 6 things at one time here. You want to have investments, you want to have a paid-off house, and you want to have a paid-off rental, and you want to build a house out in the country on the land. And so you can't be doing all these things at one time. You're building. It's going to catch up with you. So the good news is you've saved some money and you've got some options. Now the only question is what you're going to do from this point forward, and you've got to make that decision. I can't make that for you. Thank you for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. If you want to know what the baby steps that we teach are exactly and exactly how to follow them in detail, that's what the best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover, is. It's on sale for $10 right now. People buy them by the case and give them away as gifts. But in great detail, exactly how people have become baby steps millionaires. The shortest distance between where you are and wealth is all in The Total Money Makeover.